Not sure. We're having a little issue with getting the computer to play through the board.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
That's all right. Here, I'll do it. Welcome to Riverbend Talent, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company. See, I do my own sound effects, too. I do my own stunts. People don't know that. But all stunts I do here at Riverbend Talent, I actually don't have a stunt double.
Oh, yeah, we started the show.
I guess. Without the intro, I don't feel like we did, so I'm just going to do whatever.
And it must just be missing because we had everything set up right.
Yeah. Somehow it got deleted out of the system,
wait,
I guess.
Wait. I found a button. Let's
I found a button.
Well, there's this little A-B thing.
Okay. Try it again.
Here we go.
Mulligan.
Everybody, moment of silence.
Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ, brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
That's right, another edition of Riverbend Talent right here on the Big Z. My name is Dennis.
And I'm Big Pen.
Oh, you're so Big Penny.
Biggest Penniest.
Yes, we're brought to you by Halpin Music Company, who's celebrating 60 years this weekend, Big Ben.
Yeah, 60 years, man. That's a long time for anybody to be in business, but good for them, man. And we're going to be out there Saturday. Going to be out there Saturday morning.
Yes, we are going to be out there Saturday morning. Me and you.
We're not the only ones going to be out there.
Nope.
There's going to be some bands out there.
Yeah, we're going to have a party all day long.
It's going to be an all-day party.
Midday party.
Yeah.
Like old people parties, what I think.
Right. We're starting at 10 a.m. But I'm still going to be partying.
Yeah.
I guarantee.
Yeah.
Hey, we're also brought to you by Matt Van Voorhis of Macias Insurance.
And that's where the party continues, right? At Baker's and Hale, Saturday night.
That's
for Stubblefield.
Right. Saturday night, Baker's and Hale, Stubblefield. Yeah, excellent.
Nice.
That sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I might have to go out there.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all going on this weekend. And tonight we are talking to Tommy Karlas.
Yeah.
Who Pigpen didn't really know who he was. And, a lot of people don't because he's a songwriter. So he doesn't get the he's like an offensive lineman. Does all the blocking, right? Doesn't get credit for the touchdowns. But Montgomery Gentry gave him credit for the #1 downloaded song in their history. So,
well, there you go.
There you go.
And
it was also like ASCAP Songwriter of the Year that year, which I don't think I mentioned in the interview. Forgot to ask him about that.
And he's just signed a new deal.
He did, with Sony Records, with his first album after all these years. What do you say? He had 7 publishing deals or 6?
He's lost 6, so Sony will be his 7th.
Right.
And that's... Most people never get that many publishing deals. So
No, and it's interesting. We talk quite a bit about how that all goes about in this interview. So if you're a young songwriter, you're going to want to listen to this interview.
Absolutely. There you go.
So first we're going to talk about what's going on tonight, and we're going to mention that Michael Crider, Farmers Insurance Agent, also a sponsor of the program. And tonight's Sea Shanty Sing-Along got underway at 6 o'clock at Morrison's Irish Pub. Borderline tonight at 7 o'clock at Fast Eddie's. Open mic at the Ragin Cajun at 9 o'clock, and then also out at Baker's and Hale. It's already underway. Earhart and Light with the Baker's and Hale open mic started at 6. Kevin Waingruen up at George's Local Brew in Jerseyville. That's your godson's cousin there.
There you go.
Yeah. Nephew of the legendary Darren Gruen from Cottonmouth, right? Brother Jefferson, 7:30 at the Wild E Theater tonight in Edwardsville. Look at this, Big Pen.
We got Drag Queen Bingo with Miss Flo at 7 p.m. at the Global Brew in Edwardsville. I like it. Drag Queen Bingo.
We've never said that before on this show. We've said a lot that we probably shouldn't have.
That's a new one, man. That is a new one.
Yeah. Well, Alton's got a long history of drag queens, and I don't know if Miss Flo is a Bubbies and Sissy, what would you call it, patron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regular.
Yeah. But
either way,
Miss Flo is going to be taking care of the Drag Queen Bingo tonight, 7 o'clock at Global Brew in Edwardsville.
There you go.
Bob Leone, 7 o'clock at Deutz Village Inn in Pontoon Beach. Mo Pleasure, 6 to 9 at Patrick's in Granite City. And Ashley and Ethan, 6 to 9 at Prairie Inn and Dorothy, all going on tonight.
There you go. That's a pretty good Thursday night in the Riverbend area.
Tonight around the area. Oh, but man, we got a huge weekend as always, and it's going to kick off on Friday night with an annual event right here in Alton, the St. Mary's Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
And it always kicks off on Friday night. You might have just heard Mark Ellebrock talking about it there about 5:10 till. You know how they push that back towards our show because they figure that's when people are going to want to know when people are playing, right?
Right.
Glendale Riders, 7 to 11 at St. Mary's Oktoberfest on Friday night.
There you go.
What else is happening on Friday night?
Well, we got pianos down at the Ragin Cajun. That is at 9 p.m. All mixed up at 7:30 to 11:30 at Fast Eddie's Bone Air. The MadBaileys, 7 p.m. at the Lodge at Lovejoy. Going on down there. Be good weather for that.
There's a good name. Check that one out.
The Geezer Band. I didn't even know I started a new band.
Yeah.
That's a great name. The Geezer Band for all the old geezers there.
There's a certain guy named Geezer that lived in St. Louis for a while. He was in this really famous metal band.
GZR?
The very first metal band.
GZR.
Right? Black Sabbath.
Oh,
yes, and GZR.
Old Geezer Butler.
Wouldn't that be cool to see him at the VFW?
That would be hilarious to see Geezer throwing it down at the VFW. The Geezer Band will be throwing it down at the VFW in Alton, 7 to 10 p.m. tomorrow night. Then we got the Screaming Eagles Jam Band.
I got to jam with them last Sunday. A couple of the guys from the Screaming Eagles Jam Band. Yeah.
Who are the guys in the Screaming Eagles?
I don't know them all by name. There was two of them that joined Jeff Bensman and Kenny McPeak.
Okay.
On stage for the open mic down at Martin's Tunes and Eats.
Oh, nice.
And they, when Jeff seen me show up, he's like, "You're going to have to do something."
Right.
And you know what it is? Everyone wants me to sing. And so gotten up there and did some Black Sabbath in this case. And so that was fun.
There you
Met
go.
the guys. They're going to come on the show in the future. Soulshine Group, on the other hand, those guys work out of Lewis and Clark College, and they're playing at Locke's Brick House on Friday night at 8 o'clock. And Money Shot, 7 to 10 at JJ Thermos at Eastgate in East Alton, and that's Michael Crider, the sponsor of the program here.
Right.
Got to check out I'm wearing the shirt, check it out.
Nice.
The food drive. I went up there, had a funeral on Sunday, and that got me motivated to go out after the funeral, right? I took Mom out. And, she was drinking like a fish. You should have seen her, man. Throwing them back, two-fisting them. I hadn't seen her do that since we were out in Hawaii. And I got photos of that.
Two-fisting them, double-fisting it, huh?
Right, yeah.
Nice.
So we left the funeral in Bunker Hill. It was right there at Wiggler's, stopped in. And I got this T-shirt and donated, right?
Excellent.
For the food drive, and then down to the Martin's Tunes and Eats. Where were we on Friday night?
Far Gone Brothers, 7 p.m. at the Moose in Wood River. That's
right.
Going on tomorrow night.
I think we forgot to mention Selena and the Cats, 8 o'clock at Martin's Tunes and Eats. That's where we're talking about.
There you go.
A little bit earlier.
And we've got Laney and Julie, 7 p.m. at the Moose in Edwardsville.
Corey Sadoff, 7 to 10 at the Outlet at Edison's in Edwardsville. Mike Sonderreger, 7 o'clock at Global Brew in Edwardsville on Friday. Hunter Peebles, 6 to 10 at Bella Vista Winery in Maryville on Friday night. Flipside, 9 o'clock at Patrick's in Granite City. Phase 2, 8-ish p.m.
All right.
That's how they do it at Deutsch.
8-ish p.m. Like, you know.
That's how Deutsch does it. The older guys want to start at 8.
Right.
The other guys that want to go till 1 a.m. because
Start
that's
a little
what
later.
they do at Deutsch, right? Yeah.
There you go.
So that's at Deutsch Village Inn on Friday night. Down and Dirty, following the races at Tri-City Speedway in Granite City. That's like 10 o'clock at night before they start. Butch Moore, 5:30 to 8 at the Legion, the American Legion in Collinsville on Friday night. Robbie Miles, 7 to 10 at Georgia's Local Brew in Jerseyville on Friday. Jonathan Baker, 3 to 7 at Aries Winery in Grafton on Friday. Boulder Dash Duo, 6:30 to 10:30 at the Grafton Pub. Steve Mellis, open mic, 7 o'clock at the Hog Pit in Grafton. Roaming Home, 6:30 to 10 at the Canton Inn in Hillsboro. Pat Liston, 7 o'clock at Chateau Lavin in Columbia. The Grand Band, 9 o'clock at the Turf Bar in Breeze. Not a breeze to get there. It's a little bit of a drive, isn't it? Probably, yeah.
It's not too bad.
Mike Judy at it again, presents NASCAR Aloe with special guests, Oddly Shrugs, and Dirty Butt Slay Squad. plus Death Proof Incorporated. Where else but at Red Flag, right, in St. Louis, Missouri, where you can catch all the new bands and some of the touring bands. As a matter of fact, remember Prong?
Oh, yeah.
And Obituary?
Oh, yeah.
That's coming up in the future.
Ah.
Rock Bottom, 9 o'clock at Charlotte Pub in St. Louis. Another great venue to check out live music. They really love it there. And then check this out. Feel with Steve Scorpina and friends, a house party.
Right.
You can get the map from the link that's at cottonmouth.org. 6:30 p.m. in St. Peter's. So you can hang out with those dudes, Tyler Armstrong and Steve Scorpina,
right,
at a house party. I think I'm going to try to make that. Yeah. St. Peter's isn't that far, really.
No, and if you just go across, it's right. So this house party is actually on Old Highway 94. So
you've been investigating it too, I see.
Well, I was talking to Steve a little bit. I've been communicating with Mr. Scorfina.
Of course, you want to find a house party.
So if you but for us here in Alton, if you just cross the bridge, you know where the pit stop is, the gas station there.
Oh, yeah, we know.
If you turn right, that's Highway 94.
It is.
So all you got to, you can avoid a lot of that like hustle and bustle of 270 to get there.
Right.
Take a nice country drive to get there.
It is a nice country drive.
It's other than when you go past the power plant, it's an absolutely beautiful drive. That's, it's a bit of an eyesore, but I like having power, so, I'll deal with it.
And things are normal, so you won't need a boat. Sometimes you do need a boat to go down Highway 94.
Get through that area, absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll go right past 3rd Chute West, so you can stop in and have a drink.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan. When you picking me up?
Oh, well.
6:30 party, dude.
6:30.
We'd have to leave at like noon.
We should
to find it, right? I mean, pregame and all.
We got to at least start getting ready before then. So.
Oh yeah, we spend a lot of time in front of the mirror, right? Someone's calling Big Ben. Everything's canceled.
It's Justin Level.
No, okay.
Turn my phone down.
Yeah, well, he's gonna have to wait, ain't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna have to wait.
Maybe we'll get him on in a week or two to tell us about their big event coming up.
He is supposed to be coming on in just a couple of weeks with what's the band, Tunicus or?
Well, yeah. Hopefully, we're gonna have Tunicus recorded by then, and if not, Justin's gonna have to cover. So, he's our backup plan. I hope he knows.
You're our backup plan.
You just never know when you set up a time if a band can make it. There's so much going on in all these bands' lives, and that's what. If you're just tuning in for the first time, this actually sounds like a normal radio show at this point, and normally we don't sound this way, right?
People are out there going, this doesn't sound like any radio show I ever heard. It sounds like a couple of jackasses broke in
This is about as close as we get. But anyways. I don't even know why I brought that up now. Let's just move on. Saturday, October 9th. This is the big one. This is what we want everybody to come out and see us out at Halpin Music Company. Celebrating 60 years. They've been our sponsors since about a week or two after we started. Yeah. They jumped right on board, because they figured, well, we don't know if Dennis will be able to get any listeners, but he's going to be interviewing all our customers. So very smart. That's how you stay around 60 years.
Right. Yeah, that's good stuff there.
So they've invited us out. We're going to be doing some live drops, but it's going to be on 94.3, the mix. That'll be my D-Butt. My D-Butt on the mix.
Is that what it's going to be on?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was going to be on this station.
No, they requested the mix.
There you go.
My mix.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't even know because I've never been on there. So it'll be my D-Butt.
Your D-Butt.
Isn't that how you say it?
It's how I read it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I read it too.
There you go.
Anyways, the anniversary party starts at 10 a.m., goes till 3. And at noon, the Ash Perkins Experience, Contemporary Christian. We'll go till 1 o'clock when Fireside, Indie Alternative Rock, will take the stage. And then at 2 o'clock, Age and Treachery. That's the classic rock and blues band. That's Mark Landon, owner of Halpin Music. So
there you go.
Yeah, if you've ever wondered what Mark sounds like, here's your chance.
Chance to get out and check it out.
Bass player, right? Yeah.
Awesome, man. Excellent.
And then St. Mary's Oktoberfest Day 2 kicks off with the 2 stages. They've got one at 3rd and Langdon, and then all the way past St. Mary's on the other end, right? 3rd and Henry.
Right.
So on the main stage, which would be the 3rd and Langdon stage, St. Louis Czech Express from 1 to 4. Then Dixie.
And that's Czech CZECH, like Czechoslovakia, not like Czech CHECK.
I didn't know there was a large Czech contingency in St. Louis.
Well, apparently bigger than you thought.
What are the Czechs famous for? What type of music? Czech music? Checkmate. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're good chess players. We don't know.
Good hockey players.
We need to research that. Oh, well, I will. You don't have to.
Good.
I want to include you in that.
Oh, good.
But I will tell you what I find out. That way, if you ever play any Czech music on the radio, you'll know you're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also on Saturday, the Dixie Dudes, 2 to 5 at the festival stage. That's 3rd and Henry.
The Dixie Dudes. All right. Never heard of them. So
then here's one you heard of. I jammed with Jeff Bensman last week. Like I said, Lady. I put Lady the Luck, but it's Lady Luck Party Band.
Yeah.
7 p.m. at St. Mary's Oktoberfest in Alton. That would be the main stage on that one, too. That would be the 3rd.
So is he playing both nights? He's playing with Glendale Riders maybe on Friday, and then, man, he's connected.
That's
busy
Jeff.
Man. Yep.
That's
he's
Jeff.
A busy man.
That's Jeff Bensman for you.
For sure.
Hey, some of your buddies are going to be down at the Lodge.
Who's going to be down
on
there?
Saturday at 7:30. Picking daisies.
Oh, yeah. The beautiful Sarah McGibney.
That's right.
And who else is in that? I can't remember. I think the several of the girls from the.
Are we talking in softer voices for this episode?
I think so. Are we whispering?
Hey, Pig.
And now,
yeah, what's going on?
The rest of the story.
The rest of the story tonight.
What they didn't know.
What they didn't know
was that the Pickin' Daisies.
Was that the Pickin' Daisies
would play at 7:30.
Would play at 7:30
at the Lodge
at Lovejoy. See,
what's going on?
I changed it up.
Man?
I changed it up.
You did. What's going on? So anyway,
I don't know, but I felt really close to you there for a minute.
Yeah, we connected in a whole new way.
Oh man, it was intense.
What else we got?
We got Anthony Nanny, and Kaylin. See, there's where that N was coming in there.
There we go.
Yeah. Anthony Nanny and Kaylin Herr, 2 to 6. I'm not sure if she's related to Tommy Herr.
Sure. Let's just say she is. That's Tommy Herr's daughter.
Right. That's 2 to 6, and then all mixed up 7:30 to 11:30 at Fast Eddie's in Alton. Maybe we should bring up Cardinal baseball.
Let's just Caitlin Herr, daughter of Tommy Herr, who was the nephew of Ben Herr.
Right.
I don't think
I think
of that's
you got
right,
it all right. That's
yeah.
That's exactly how it is.
So
my mom, when she was throwing back that liquor last week, and was telling me how much she had a crush on Tommy Herr. So.
Who didn't? I mean,
well, she's a Cub fan, so it was a surprise.
I get drunk enough. I'll tell you about the crush I had on Tommy Herr. I don't even have to get drunk. I'll just tell you.
What else has happened Saturday? Number 4.
You seem like more of a Keith Hernandez guy.
Who, me?
Yeah, you like the mustache. Right?
No, man. I wasn't into the speed.
Oh yeah,
he was a speed freak. So and I like the mellow players that
Willie McGee. Daryl Strawberry.
The patient ones, yeah. Hey, Willie's awesome. That's for sure.
Absolutely, they all are. Daryl Porter.
I was going to say
how much cocaine he did. He was a great catcher.
Yeah, well, I really wasn't a Cardinal fan. I did like Whitey Herzog.
Really?
No, I'm a White Sox fan, which they're still alive. So,
Powder
this
Blue
is
in
Sports
82,
Talk.
baby.
Hey, welcome to Sports Talk with Big Finn and Dennis. What's going on, Piggy? You're going to take them White Sox all the way to the World Series, are you? Okay.
Back in the 80s, the Cards had it going on. Anyway, number 4 combo.
Yes.
6 to 10 at Chubby's. Go down and listen to number 4 combo and get yourself a Chubby Bird.
I bet they had it going on in the 80s, too.
I bet they did.
Yeah. Piano's 9 o'clock at Ragin Cajun on Saturday. Stubblefield. That's Matt Van Voorhis, sponsor of this show.
Also,
Macias Insurance
Bobby
agent.
Etley, not sponsor the show, but
no,
heck
but
of a
he
guitar
could.
player.
He could sponsor the show.
Joe Cox, who makes sweet love to his bass guitar.
Oh, he's making some sweet love. Anybody named Joe Cox has got to make sweet love.
He's a heck of a band, heck of a group of guys.
Then they got a short guy named Tall.
Well, and he's been on the show. He's one of our most often guests on the show, I think, in 5 years. So there you go.
Oh, Big George Brock might have passed him.
Yeah, well.
We like him, though. Stubblefield, 7 to 10 at Bakers and Hale and Godfrey. And thanks to Matt Van Voorhis from Macias Insurance for sponsoring this program.
There you go.
There's your chance to get out and ask him why.
Why, Matt? Why?
Yeah.
What else have we got going on?
Well, I think you say this W. D-U-B-Y-A.
W.
Yeah, W.
Yeah.
8 o'clock at Martin's Tunes and Eats and Wood River, formerly Chico's. And I got that off their digital board down there.
Okay. It's probably going to be a dub artist.
So that was intense research there.
W. Then we got DJ AutoCAD.
I'm going
DJ AutoCAD. Okay. 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the franchise in Wood River.
I was thinking Abacab.
I think AutoCAD.
Isn't that Genesis song?
Abacab.
Right.
I don't know. Abracadabra's a Steve Miller song.
Okay.
And a pizza place.
And a spell.
Right.
Bitter Pill is the name of a band. They're playing 9 o'clock at the Pump House in Wood River on Saturday. Flip the Frog, everyone knows, is the name of a band that's playing at 9 o'clock at the Refinery Bar in Wood River on Saturday. Dana Anderson, 7 to 10 at George's local brew in Jerseyville. Mo Pleasure back at it on Saturday from 3 to 7 at Grafton Winery. Harmony Grits, 2 to 6 at the Hog Pit in Grafton. There's Big George Brock.
There we go.
And the NGK Band, 3 o'clock at the Loading Dock in Grafton.
Got Philip Russo, 2 to 6 p.m. and Lead Sled, 7 to 11 at the Grafton Pub. And then Hookie, 7 p.m. at the Oyster Bar in Grafton. We got Denver Wade Trent, 3 first names, going to be a psycho killer usually.
Sometimes he goes by Wade Trent, just to give him a break.
Denver Wade Trent, noon to 3 p.m. And then Jim and Carol, 3 to 7 p.m. at the Aries. Carl, there we go. Jim and Carl. Carol would be nice too, but Jim and Carl, so it's not as good as Jim and Carol, but they're still pretty good.
Yeah.
3 to 7 p.m. Aries in Grafton. Catfish Willie Duo, 5 to 8 p.m. at the Bloody Bucket in Grafton. Our buddy Kurt Copeland and his awesome band Roaming Home, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Rustic Retreats in Grafton. That's a lot going on in Grafton.
That's all Saturday.
That is all Saturday in Grafton right there.
Borderline, 6 to 10 at Wild Pickens in Chesterfield on Saturday. Cherry Bomb, 8 o'clock at Wigglers and Holiday.
The song by the Runaways?
Cherry Bomb, Cherry Bomb.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Cherry Bomb's now a band, 8 p.m. at Wigglers and at Holiday Shores. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
I'm sorry.
They do have a female singer, since you're talking about the all-female band, the Runaways.
There you go.
Right?
So, yeah, I was trying to tie it all together.
Oh, you were. Everyone caught on to that real quick. Nice backstrokes there.
There you go. Hey, here's a band. I probably got one of these, their albums at home. I believe I got some vinyl by these guys. Hartsfield, 8 p.m. at the Wildy Theater in Edwardsville.
I bet you could find a copy of that at Riverbend Records.
I bet you could.
Mm-hmm. Here's the guys, you like their name. They play reggae.
Poor Dirty Astronauts, 9 p.m. at the Back Bar in Edwardsville.
Yeah, I feel for those guys each time we read their name. I mean,
I
poor,
love it.
dirty, and then broke after going to the moon. I mean,
right.
Yeah, it's like a veteran. Anyways.
Scott and Michelle, 6 to 10 p.m. at the Cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carbon.
I got the final shrimp boil with live music, 2 o'clock at Whodats in Collinsville on Saturday.
Whodats.
Beowulf, they've been around since the 60s, probably. Well, at least the 70s. Okay, maybe I went too far.
Went back a little far with that, yeah. I could see them like in black and white and, listen what the flower people said.
Right? Yeah, we're going to have to get Bobby in here.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Beowulf, 8 p.m. at Patrick's in Granite City.
Right.
Be a rock and roll party.
And then Flipside doing bike night at Hooch and 16s in Granite City at 8 o'clock. And Phase 2 does night 2 at Deutsch Village. And, of course, that's 8-ish
Right.
in Pontoon Beach. Scott Marlin, 12 to 4 at the Copper Dock in Pocahontas. And then he travels to Troy for the Blue Marlin Band at 8:30 at Time Out Sports Bar in Troy.
There you go.
Blue Moon number 7. Lots of blue bands on Saturday.
Right.
They're playing 2 to 5. And then Agent 99, 7 to 11. That's a benefit for Jake Portugal, and that's at Red's Tavern / Sage House in Bunker Hill on Saturday. Squeeze Box, 3 o'clock at Prairie Inn in Dorsey. Lanny and Julie, 6 o'clock at the Camp Station in Staunton. Money Shot, 8 o'clock at Roosters in Staunton. That's Michael Crider from Farmers Insurance, sponsor of this program. Now, this one's interesting. Pat Liston helping to raise some funds for a museum on Saturday from 4 to 7 o'clock. It's a Sappington House Museum in St. Louis where Pat Liston is helping out.
This is normally where I would sing Blue Mist, but I'm going to skip it.
That's good.
And instead, I'm going to sing Looking Glass Mirror. No, I'm just kidding. It would be great, though.
Sing one of his newer songs.
Look away from the looking glass mirror. That's one of his newer ones.
Okay.
There you go.
I was asking for it.
Yeah.
Customer Appreciation Day over at the Longshot Tiki Bar on Saturday with the Soulard Island Dudes, which I think they only play there, and they're actually the Soulard Blues Band, but I can't confirm or deny that.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Even though I did see something about John Mondon posting about playing over there, but maybe he's in two different bands. You're going to have to go out over and find out and let us know.
Yeah.
I think we should start turning some of this research over to other people. Baby.
Yeah, so some of you people out there in the listening land, in the general listening vicinity, one of you go out this Saturday, Friday, and go over there to the Longshot Tiki Bar in Portage de Sioux, and let us know who exactly are the Soulard Island Dudes.
Yeah, and that's happening on Saturday. And coming up here in just a bit, we are going to talk to a guest tonight, Tommy Karlas.
Yeah.
Who is a professional songwriter out of Nashville. He's wrote all kinds of music. He'll talk all about that, including the number one song downloaded by Montgomery Gentry and ASCAP Songwriter of the Year, and he has his first album out.
Right.
He's going to be playing a release party. What is that? The 16th, I think, is the Saturday date for the following weekend, right?
Yeah, the 16th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah.
Rogers and Neenhouse, 5 to 8 at Longview Farm Park. That catches my eye. Farm Park.
All right.
I mean, because if you're in the city of St. Louis, you probably want to show what a farm looks like. Maybe people don't know. Maybe it's like a farm park. I don't know.
There is a big farm park right in the middle of St. Louis where there's horses and stuff. So maybe that's the name of it. I don't really know.
Doesn't Anheuser-Busch own that?
That's Grant's farm.
Yeah.
There's another one that's like right downtown. You can just kind of see it
from
the highway.
Why does Grant have a farm in Missouri? Wasn't he from Illinois?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
know. What Bonnie would say. Yeah, we all came from Illinois. We just had to play in St. Louis, right? And finally, on Saturday, Mike Judy presents Honey with a U.
All right.
Honey with a U with Mitchie and Small Crush, 8 o'clock at Red Flag in St. Louis. Now moving along to Sunday, day number 3 of the big festival at St. Mary's Oktoberfest. Big Shake Daddies, 12:20 to 4:30 on the festival stage. That's 3rd and Henry. St. Louis Czech Express is back on Sunday from 12:30 to 4 p.m. on the main stage. Back in the Saddle, 6:30 to 10 on the main stage at St. Mary's Oktoberfest in Alton. And then also on Sunday, Cricket and the Grilled Avocados, 3 to 7 at Chubby's in Alton. Matt Walterscheid, 12:30 to 3:30 at the Brown Bag Bistro in Alton. And not too many more chances to catch an outdoor shot there at the Brown Bag Bistro. And what a nice little patio to sit out on a Sunday afternoon and listen to some live music.
Absolutely.
You can just sneak right out there, too.
Yeah.
I always like that.
Back at Fast Eddie's again on Sunday, we got Anthony Nanny and Carolyn Herr, which
I think that's Kaylin.
We've already decided she's the daughter of Tommy Herr.
You want a carol to play this weekend.
I want a carol to play so bad. I want to be a caroler in the end.
I think you do. 1 to 5 for Anthony Nanny, and then Across the Line, which Anthony Nanny plays drums in, from 6 to 10 at Fast Eddie's in Alton on Sunday. The Screamin' Eagles back at it 4 to 8 at Roper's Regal Beagle in Country. Cabin Fever, 3 to 7 at Doc Holiday's and Cottage Hills. The Shell Shack open mic, 3 to 7 at Martin's Tunes and Eats in Wood River. Kurt Copeland open mic, 4 to 7 at Uncle Al's in Jerseyville. The Mad Hoss Jackson.
Calling us.
I know, I want to answer that so bad. 1 to 5 at the Hog Pit in Grafton. You think we should?
Sure.
Okay, Stone Cold, what do they call that?
Cold call.
Naked phone lines. You've reached You've reached WBGZ. You're on the air live. Is that what you wanted to do? No.
He's like, heck no, man.
I'm terrified. I'm out of here. Run, rabbit, run. Anyways, back to Sunday. The NGK Band, 2 to 6 at Grafton. That's a naked open line is what that's called.
I like it.
You just punch it in, right?
Sure.
I think we've had like a couple callers like actually want to get a hold of us, so you never know, right?
Oh my gosh.
The number's 465-1570, but you've only got a few seconds to call us because we're heading to Tommy Karlas pretty quick.
Let's get back at it. Kurt Copeland open mic 4 to 7 p.m. at Uncle Al's in Jerseyville. Mad Hoss Jackson 1 to 5 p.m. at the Hog Pit in Grafton. NGK Band 2 to 6 p.m. at the Grafton Winery. Then Trilogy 2 p.m. at the Loading Dock in Grafton. Stacy 1 to 5 p.m. at the Grafton Pub. Graham Pagano 1 to 5 p.m. at Aries in Grafton. That is a lot in Grafton once again. Man.
And notice it's just Graham Pagano this time, and that's how it's listed on his website. So solo Graham.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. The Owls 2 to 6 at Wild Pickens in Chesterfield. Open mic with Butch Moore every Sunday night. Stagger Inn again in Edwardsville. Adam Gaffney 2 to 6 at Bella Vista Winery in Maryville on Sunday. The Two Pedros 2 o'clock at the Cabin at Judy Creek and Glen Carbon. Everett Dean and Ashley Underwood 2 to 6. Then karaoke at 7 at Deutsch Village Inn on Sunday. In Pontoon Beach, Meatwood Black 1 to 5 at Roosters in Staunton. Roaming Home busy all weekend, and they're back at it 2 to 6 at Hidden Lake Winery in Aviston. Spicing Up 3 to 7 at Longshot Tiki Bar in Portage de Sioux. They got to get one more in before the end of the weekend over there at the Tiki Bar. So that does it, man. We're finally to the best part of the show, man. This guy is so interesting, wasn't he, Big Ben?
Absolutely, man. Get down on this interview. It is a great guy to get to know. I didn't know him until we met him right on this interview, but check this out. It is Tommy Karlas.
And he wrote for Bo Duke. Was it Bo Duke?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Barry Zito, a pitcher for like the San Francisco Giants and Oakland A's. So, yeah, we had a reason to talk baseball. Let's get it going. Here's Tommy Karlas. Riverbend Talent on the Big Z. I'm Dennis. Big Pen here as well. And
another Thursday night.
It is, and excited to have our guest tonight, Mr. Tommy Karlas, joining us all the way from Nashville, right down in Nashville.
Yep. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Good to meet you, Tommy. East Alton gentleman, right?
Yep. Born and raised.
Born and raised. There you go. But you were pretty young when you headed down to Nashville, right?
I was. This is actually the year where I finally lived here longer than I lived there. I moved when I was 19 years old, and I just hit my 20-year mark here.
Wow!
Congratulations! It's a long time to not get run out of a town like that.
Especially this town, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Now, are you in East Nashville? Because I hear that's the hippie side of town now.
No, I'm actually on the opposite side. So there you go.
The west side.
Yeah.
All right. So the story goes, though, you got the itch about 14 years old, right? When you went down to Bluebird, checked it out. Is that what happened?
I did. Yeah, actually, Charlie Brown, who you all know, we took it. Charlie and I became buddies, and we played in a talent show at Roxana High School, and we kind of hit it off and started writing a little bit together. And we took a day trip, I think, to Nashville to see some guys at the Bluebird Cafe, and I fell in love with it right then and there. I mean, I saw guys that are heroes to this very day. And I fell in love with it, and I basically just had a plan from that day on. 5 years later, I ended up executing it and moving down to Nashville and giving it a shot.
So you're a Roxana guy, not a Wood River guy from East Alton, right?
That's right. Yep.
Right, because there's like a weird line there in East Alton. Some of them go to Roxana, some go to Wood River.
I know. Yep.
Yeah. So, but 19 years old, you're down there in Nashville and you sign your first publishing deal at 19. Did you think it was going to happen that quick?
No, I actually had a plan. It was 5 to 7 years was the average and what everybody had told me. And so I basically just had that in mind. Okay, it's going to be 5 to 7 years to get one or longer. And the first week there, Charlie and I went to a workshop where we could pitch to Music Row publishers. And out of 50 songs, they kept 2 songs, and both of them were mine and Charlie's that we had written together. And that next day, they called me in and offered me a deal. So I had my deal my first week, and everything that's happened since then pretty much came from that point on.
Yeah, no.
Wow. That's amazing.
So one of the songs that you wrote and Charlie was in on it too was a Blake Shelton tune. Is that part of that original publishing deal then?
No, Yeah, that did come towards the end there, but we still didn't write that for a few years after that. I mean, that was just us kind of, learning about Nashville and writing with new people and just networking and eventually, yeah, Charlie Brown and a guy named Charlie Steffel, who Charlie Brown knew. We got together one day and wrote that song, and we knew it was special, but it still took a couple years to actually get somebody to record it. Obviously, yeah, that's an awesome song, awesome artist to have sing your song.
Yeah. So kind of run us through that process. How does a guy like you get down there and get hooked up to do publishing and writing songs? And after you write a song, does it just kind of float out there and then you find out later someone picked it up? Kind of explain that process.
Yeah, so we learned back then, it's basically if you drive down to Music Row in Nashville, all of country music is on two one-way streets that are about a 5-block period, and it's not very big, and it's a small town, and basically all those little houses. If you ever take a tour of it, it's really boring because they just look like houses, but they're all publishing companies. And basically, their job is they have songwriters in there co-writing with people every day, and they write songs, and then a publisher takes your songs and tries to get them recorded by other artists. So they have these things called tip sheets, and it will say Kenny Chesney is looking for a beach song and is recording on these days and get it to these people. And so there's a whole process to it, and you got to find people that are tied in and have those connections, and you basically just a publisher signs you to write a bunch of songs, and then maybe out of a few of all the songs you write will be good enough to record and demo, and then they'll take those and try to pitch them to the bigger artists.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, most songwriters make all their income off of a very small percentage of their songs.
Right. So do you remember that first one that got picked up for you after you had wrote it?
I do. It was Randy Travis, of all people. I'll never forget that day. I mean, since I was 14, I always dreamed about that day of walking into Walmart and getting a CD with somebody singing your song, and to have it be Randy Travis was just, I mean, it's a moment I'll never forget.
Is that Not Your Cross to Bear? Is that the song?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can imagine that was probably a pretty magical moment for you to have your name on a Randy Travis. Were you a big Randy Travis fan?
I was a huge one, and Charlie and I. Well, it's funny about the Blake Shelton thing. I gotta tell you this. So Charlie and I both had that dream of walking into Walmart, and when we had the Blake Shelton cut, which was right around the same time of the Randy Travis cut, we walked in and he told the cashier, he said, "I have a song on this record," and her response was, "Debit or credit?"
Yeah.
Like, I mean, she didn't care.
Wow.
So much for that magic moment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Brought him back down for good, real quick.
That's right. It made for a good story.
Right. I like it.
Yeah. So that's what you've been doing down there, I guess, ever since, right? And the list of folks that you've been able to get songs to is pretty impressive. One of them comes to mind is the Montgomery Gentry song, which may be the biggest one of all, right? That you were part of writing. It's called "Roll With Me," and wasn't that the fastest rising, most downloaded song in their history?
It was their biggest song they ever had, and they had a pretty long 10-year career of a lot of hits.
Yeah. Did you ever get a chance to meet them and talk about that song?
I did. I actually got to go out on the road with them quite a bit, write songs with them, and Troy actually became a good friend of mine. And he was just one of the best people you could know. He was just kind and caring, and we had been out on the road, and he wanted to start writing songs, which is why I was out there, because most of the time he recorded other people's songs, and he wanted to do some writing. And he was at a store, and the guy knew who he was because he was famous. And I guess he thought he was rich too. So he was trying to get him to buy a guitar for way overpriced. And I was like, Troy, you can get that guitar back at Nashville, for a couple $100 at Guitar Center. And we went back to Nashville. We had a day rest, and then we got back on the bus later that night. He had 2 guitars, one for him and one for me, since I had, said that to him. He was just a great guy like that.
So basically your job was to like hang out with him and write songs, and then he had to go perform, and you got to relax and watch him. Is that how it went?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a cool gig. That's a cool gig.
I'll tell you what, it's not always as fun as it was for me. When I was out there, John Daly was out there with him, the golfer, and so it was me and John would stand on the side of the stage and hang out, and during the show, and just enjoy. I didn't know who John was, and people would come up to him, but he was another great one too.
I've heard that dude knows how to party.
He sure does.
Yeah. There's some interviews out there on YouTube about him. Being a good guy and having a good time. So, so pretty quick start there down in Nashville, and then it just takes off like a rocket, huh? So you really didn't have time to sit down and write your own stuff. You're busy writing other people's stuff all the time, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I mean, typically when people do move here, they are wanting to be an artist and sing their own songs. My thing was always number one was just to be a songwriter. I did have people approach me early on about doing that, but I kind of knew that people would take me more seriously if I was just a songwriter. There's something about that. If everybody's trying to be an artist, and even me, if I walk in and meet somebody, it's like, oh, okay, here's somebody else that wants to be famous. But there's something else, about someone just saying, no, I'm a songwriter, and they take you a little bit more seriously. And that was always where my passion was. I just enjoyed and could see me enjoying a life of just creating songs every day and going home. Just the normal life.
Yeah. So let's go back to that Montgomery Gentry song for just a minute. Roll With Me. What do you remember about writing that song? Is there a story behind it?
There is. There was so many amazing things that happened around that song. I had basically, in the 20 years I'm here, 20 years is a long time to be doing this. Back then, there was over 2,000 signed writers in country music. And because of downloading and streaming and all that, my profession's been kind of decimated. We're down to about 300 or 400 on Music Row. And there's a lot of ups and downs. I mean, I've had a lot of jobs. I've lost a lot of publishing deals. I've bartended. I've managed bars. I've done room service. And I had lost my second publishing deal around 2006, 2007. I had put so much pressure on myself to perform. I kind of had the imposter syndrome. I just paralyzed myself creatively, and it wasn't fun. And when I lost that deal, I just had this huge weight lifted off me. And I was just like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have fun again, like when I was a kid and just writing songs on my bed. And I just decided, if I got to get a job, big deal, I'm just going to write songs and have fun. And it's about 3 months later. Actually, I had a kidney stone surgery. I got evicted from my apartment and lost my publishing deal all within the same week. And I was just like, for some reason, I had peace about it. And a couple months later, I ended up writing Roll With Me about 2 a.m. It just came to me. I normally, when I come up with the melody, I'll press record after I do it. But for some reason, I pressed record on my tape recorder, and I came up with this melody. And I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And sometimes when I'm doing a melody, I'll say nonsense words with it. And the line, I'm thinking maybe it's time to be living the rhyme when I'm singing a song about nothing but right. It was nonsense I was just saying as I was singing the song. But I was like, man, that's kind of cool. So I wrote the whole song basically around that. And I mean, I knew I was sitting by myself before anybody heard it. I had tears rolling down my face because I knew that it was going to be my first number one hit. I just had no doubt. Yeah.
So, they talk about the magic of writing a song sometimes, and it just comes to you like that. And you hear that story over and over. So that's pretty amazing to hear again.
Well, sometimes to write a good song, you have to be evicted and lose your job.
That's right.
That's where good songs come from. If you're just like sitting poolside, you're writing some goofy songs,
I know it seems to be the story. There's always some heartache or pain or something behind these great songs, or something you had to go through that just makes you get real. I don't know what it is.
If you want to be a good songwriter for the rest of your life, you always have to be able to pack up everything you own in 15 minutes and leave. And you have to live the kind of life that makes you do that every now and again. And you'll always be a good songwriter.
That's about right. I can't disagree with that.
So I want to get down. He's been asking some real, good questions about your career, but let's get down to the crux of it. You went to Roxanne to Coach Rach?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Coach Rach was there. Yeah, he was there for a couple of years, and I think it was around the time that he retired. I was coming up in high school.
Okay.
Okay. I was wondering about, with the age. I thought, you look like you could have been right there and caught the end of Coach Rage's career. So
Yep.
there you go.
We're friends with Mike Rage, his son.
His son is a musician, been playing bass guitar around here for a long time. So
cool.
Yeah. So let's talk about the new album and your first. It's hard to believe it's your first. I mean, after all these years, but yeah, your debut release called "Put It in Drive," right?
Yep.
And some of those songs out now, the full thing out, or what's the situation there?
So we're going to release it all whenever we have the album release party on October 16th. The whole album will come out, but we're basically, and I'm learning about all this too, but we're basically releasing singles, every month or so, a song from the album, and then we'll finally release the whole thing on October 16th. But the album is really, it's gotten harder to get songs cut in Nashville, and the album came because, well, my cousin Nathan Karlas was always telling me, man, you need to do an album, but mostly it was because I went through a few years between 2010 and 2015 where I didn't write anything I liked, and about then I kind of rededicated myself to the process, and I started writing good songs, and they weren't getting cut, and I'm just like, you know what, these songs need to be heard whether I'm singing them or not, so I might as well just make an album of my own. And it was supposed to come out kind of right after COVID started, and it's kind of been pushed back because of all that, but it's finally going to be here.
Yeah, and some of those releases already out there. The title track you just released, right? Put It in Drive.
Yep, just 2 days ago.
Tell us about that song.
That was I wrote that with two guys, Trent Wellman, who produces Cody Johnson, and Trent was an artist of his own. Had a big hit called Beer Man that he sang and a few other songs, and now he's basically a producer. And another guy named John Pierce that we wrote that together. It was just one of those songs. He had that title, and I was like, man, let me go home tonight and just play and try to find a melody for that song. And we wrote it the next day, and it was just one that we knew was special.
All right. How about The Kind You Write Songs About?
I wrote that with the same two guys.
Yeah.
So that one was so I got stuck in a lift. Actually, I was driving Lyft between publishing deals, and I got stuck in traffic driving this girl, and we were talking, and we were there for 2 hours, and she got out of the car, and I was like, man, that's the kind of girl you write a song about. And I was like, wait a second, that's a title.
Yeah.
And yeah, I threw it to those guys the next week, and they loved it. We ended up writing it.
So that happens to a lot of songwriters. You're out in the middle of a job doing something, and you're like, this idea comes to you. What do you do at that moment to make sure you don't forget it?
Right.
It's a lot easier now because you have, notepads and recorders on your phone. Back then you had to find something to write it down with. But yeah, you definitely got to write it down, or else you'll forget it.
Yeah, I bet you forgot some good ones.
I have, but I always make myself feel better by telling me if it was. I tell myself if it was that good, I would remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you think up the line, or you have the idea, and you think, oh, that's good, it's good, and you don't write it down, you think to yourself when you don't write it down, oh, this is so good, I won't forget it, and then you forget it. I mean,
I did that for about 10 years, and then I finally learned my lesson.
Yeah. Right. I've been doing it my whole life. I still haven't learned. But,
yeah.
Right.
So you talked a little bit about, how you're handed this list, and it's kind of got some key notes on it to what to write about.
The tip list. Yeah.
Yeah. And so tell us a story that you kind of went, I don't know what I'm going to do on this. And then maybe even finish the song and thought nobody's going to want this song. And maybe it got picked up anyways. Any stories like that?
I mean, there's some that have been kind of recent. Like, I don't know if you guys know that Trey Lewis guy. Have you heard him? He's kind of a newer guy coming up. That was really one that I just didn't expect to get cut. But I got to be honest, man, for the most part, I know I know the songs that are special. I'm usually not surprised by it.
Uh-huh.
There's one song that is on the album that is called Lessons, and we wrote it. It took us about 6 or 7 days, but I had the same feel. I've only had the feeling with 2 songs in my entire career, with Roll With Me and with Lessons. And this song is still in the phase. It hasn't been cut by anybody big yet. It's been really close. Granger Smith was emailing last year and was going to cut it. It was on hold for Blake Shelton for 4 months. It's just one of those songs that is so special that I'll be super shocked if somebody doesn't end up eventually recording it.
Nice. I was looking at some of the people on the list that you've written songs for, and a couple of names popped out, and I want to talk about them. The first one that jumped out at me was Barry Zito. Is that the pitcher for the Oakland A's?
Yeah.
And Sam, tell us about that. What's going on there?
Yeah, Barry and I are we became good buddies. So he comes from a very musical family, and he always wanted to do music, always did music on the side, but he had to focus on baseball, obviously. And I think that was one of the reasons he chose to play for the Nashville Sounds to finish his career. He came and played here just to get to know people. And we had a mutual connection that said, hey, man, there's this ex-ball player, would you want to write with them? Honestly, I used to love baseball when I was a kid, and I knew everybody before I moved to Nashville. That all got put away. So when I met Barry, I had no idea who he was. And it was good because we became friends because of it, because I didn't care. I see how people are around him and stuff. And he was a really famous guy.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't know that. And we just started writing songs together, and we had a lot of different things, mutual interest. We both do a few Christian ministries together. We both write a lot of songs. He just built a studio in his house, and he's releasing his own stuff. And we just became good buds.
Yeah. Cool story. Another name that jumps out, John Schneider. Is that the Duke boy?
That is him. Yeah.
I don't remember if he's Bo or Luke, but
that's Bo.
Yeah, that's right, Bo, the blonde-headed one, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did music back then. I remember him doing songs on the TV show.
Yep. So. That's right.
But were you a Duke boy fan? You watch the Dukes?
I did when I was really little, but I hadn't for years. But yeah, I mean, obviously to have him do your song is pretty cool,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then some other names like Trisha Yearwood. Everybody's heard that name.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wrote a song with her. Let's see, Ran Into You, I guess is the name of the song.
Yeah, that was me and my buddy Dave Turnbull wrote it with a guy named Mitch Roselle, who is an artist, and we were writing it for him. And he opened up for Garth, and Garth kind of took him under his wing, and he was out. It's funny because I think Garth actually liked the song, and Mitch had written Garth's last 3 or 4 number ones. So he's like, hey, Garth, I think I want this song. So I was a little like, come on, Mitch, man, you can't keep us from getting a Garth Brooks cut. Yeah. But he ended up doing it, and Trisha loved the song, so she sang on it. So we got to at least have that.
That's pretty cool. I imagine Charlie Brown was excited that his idol was involved in that story, Garth Brooks, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. We both idolized Garth growing up, and Garth was probably the reason Charlie and I both decided to do this.
Who didn't? That guy was on fire during that time. Well, congratulations on your brand new release. It's called Put It and Drive, and that's going to be available, I guess. Once the show, the release party rolls around on October 16th, that's at Hathaway Hall. And you got our buddy Billy Hurst playing with you.
Yep.
Did you ever write any songs with Billy?
I think Billy and I did write a little bit back in the day. I've known Charlie and Billy for so long, and those guys released so many records, and I played at so many of their shows, and I thought, man, why not call them up and get the old band back together and get on stage together. I mean, plus the Hathaway Hall, man, like I used to do shows there, do talent shows and stuff when I was 13, 14. And the day that I left for Nashville, I remember thinking, man, it would be awesome to come back someday and do a show at the Hathaway Hall. So I've had this show in my mind for 20 years.
Oh.
So yeah, it's cool to finally make it happen.
Now that's cool that you talked about that, playing the Hathaway Hall with the talent shows, because I'm thinking you left town at 19 to head to Nashville. You didn't really hit the bar scene around here, which is like where a lot of people cut their teeth playing music. Where did you cut your teeth other than talent shows?
Well, actually, we did. We had a band called Mason Dixon, and we were pretty big. Yeah, but it was you're right. It was for a short time. It was about a year and a half. We played every weekend except for the holidays, and we got to open up for Black Hawk and do some shows at that place called A Little Bit of Texas. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I played with those guys. Half of them are like in the Borderline band now, and but they were all great musicians. But that was good because it. Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
I know that's what you mean. I just saw Borderline play a while back, and man, they're good. They're so good.
No, they're awesome. I still play with them actually. I usually try to come home and do the Toys for Tots thing, which I'm going to try to do that again this year. So yeah, I love those guys.
You got a band playing with you at Hathaway Hall, I guess?
No, I'm just going to have accompaniment. It's going to be basically an acoustic show.
Okay. So is Billy and Charlie going to do it the same way?
Yeah, they're going to do like what we call an in the round. It's basically a 2-man round to open it up. I think they'll each do 3 or 4 songs a piece and just kind of go back and forth on their songs.
Yeah, I got to see Merle Haggard and Chris Christopherson do that, where they just stood next to each other, passing songs back and forth all night. I'm like, can I get up there for just a minute?
Exactly. No, that's kind of the Nashville thing. That's what they do at the Bluebird, which is so cool and people love so much. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for those guys to play and hear them play and get up and finally do the show.
Have you had a chance to get by Billy's record store, Riverbend Records, yet?
I have. Yeah, I went by last time I was home, just a few weeks back. That place is awesome.
Yeah.
Stop right next door at Mr. Donuts and get some biscuits and gravy. That's what I do.
There you go.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you find out that's like the only or the oldest Mr. Donut?
It's the only Mr. Donuts left in America. Yeah.
I'll be dang.
It still looks like you're in the 1970s when you walk in there. I like it.
Huh. That's awesome.
So this show October 16th at Hathaway Hall. Now, if you the ticket price includes a copy of your new album, performance with you, Charlie Brown, Billy Hurst, and entrance to the after party at the Wood River Moose Lodge. So there you go. So that the price of admission is more than just getting into the show. You're getting the CD, you're getting the after party. And then now it said it was who was it? Bo
Matthews.
Bo Matthews is hosting now. Who's Bo Matthews?
Bo Matthews was he was one of the biggest country DJs he DJ'd for WIL for 15 years.
Okay, yeah. The name rang a bell, but we couldn't put
our finger on who Bo Matthews was.
Yeah, he does. I think he took over Rush Limbaugh's spot too on KMOX. I think he's over there now doing that. But yeah, I've known Bo for a long time. Back when he was at WIL, he gave Mason Dixon, my band, a lot of air and hooked us up with a lot of big gigs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, looking forward to the show at the Hathaway Hall October 16th, and congratulations on all your success. I mean, from all the publishing deals and the big songs with the big stars singing them, but getting your own album, that's pretty got to be some righteousness to that after writing all these songs. Even though you said you were there was something cool about just being a songwriter and not wanting to be the star, there's got to be something nice about it finally coming around to you're getting to do your whole album now.
It is and the best part is I get to have 12 cuts on the album. I don't have to wait for somebody else to cut it. But I mean, it's It's cool. It's a grind doing this. I won't lie. Like, I lost my sixth publishing deal back the day after Memorial Day. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And this whole summer, I just basically tried to email every publisher in town. And I got lucky again. And I just signed a publishing deal with Sony actually just a couple weeks ago. So I mean, I'm gonna enjoy it as long as I can do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got a lot of young musicians that listen to this show, and the stuff you're saying there is great advice for them to tap into. Is there anything you can think of that you wish somebody would have told you back in the day that would have helped you out, that maybe you can pass along to the young guys?
Man, I think the biggest thing that I tell myself is just to make sure you enjoy doing it, to find what you love about it. I mean, that's it. Whether it's famous, whether it's in your living room, whatever, just to keep enjoy doing it. And the more you enjoy doing it, the more you'll do it and the better you'll get at it.
Yeah. Anything can turn into a job. Any hobby can turn into a job if you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And,
absolutely.
I left a band that it took years. It was like a bad breakup with a girl. It should have happened 3 years before it happened. And when it was over, I thought, the next time it's not fun to me, I'm just done. The next time, unless I'm making enough money to make a living, if it's not fun, I'm done. And I've enjoyed music a lot since then.
No, that's it. Exactly. It took me about 3 or 4 publishing deals before I realized I need to trick myself into not thinking this is a job. I need to remember that I'm just doing it for fun. And, these guys pay me a little bit over here to do it. Big deal.
It's not surgery. No one's dying. No, nothing.
That's right.
Here, man. We're just writing songs.
That's right.
There's 12 notes. Pick a couple and go with it.
That's right.
Every time I talk songwriters, and specifically Billy Hurst, I have to bring up a songwriter that worked on his album, a local legend around here in Grafton. He's been on this radio station a few times, and that's Banjo Teller. Do you remember Banjo?
I don't.
No, man. I just had to see if maybe you had a banjo story, because there's some great banjo stories. But anyways, your website's TommyKarlasmusic.com.
Yep.
And they can find all the information about that. You got a Facebook as well, so they can just search for you on Facebook. Anywhere else you want to tell people to check you out at?
No, I think that we did just get some songs on playlists. You can look for me on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you stream music. But with Apple Music did just give me a creator songwriter series playlist. It's kind of cool. It basically has some of my songs, me singing, but then it has all the other songs that people have recorded of mine too.
Yeah, nice. I was able to check that out, and that's where I got some of my information from. So that was a pretty cool thing that they put together. And
that's awesome,
man. Sony Music, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it is. I feel like I've been playing for the minor leagues for 20 years, and I finally got called up. It's kind of analogous to that.
I love it, man. Go back to the baseball story. That's great.
That's right. Yep.
You're no AAA player anymore.
Yeah.
Man.
No, that's right.
Congratulations, man. It's been a fight, man, but it wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't, right?
That's right. That's so true.
You got a lot of stripes and a lot of scars, and that's a lot more songs that are right in the future.
Absolutely. It's just persistence and just believing in yourself. That's it.
Cool, man. Well, everybody get out on October 16th at Hathaway Hall. What a perfect place to check out Billy Hurst, Charlie Brown, and Tommy Karlas with his new stuff. Now, as Charlie and Billy talk to you about your new record, they're digging it probably, huh?
They love it. Yeah. Billy just texted me last night about Put It in Drive. He's like, wow, man, that song, how has that not gotten cut yet? So maybe this will be a tool to help somebody else get it cut. That's kind of the new thing now. So, and that was kind of part of the reason I wanted to do it. People, all these artists, they listen to songwriter records and stuff like that on the bus. You never know when they're going to pop it in and go, oh man, I should record that song.
Yeah. And, that's that ticket, the $30 ticket that includes your new CD and then the after party at the Moose in Wood River where John Daly may appear, right? So
You never know where that guy's going to appear. Let me tell you, he may be there by the end of the night, like hitting the golf ball off of the tee in somebody's mouth when they're drunk or something. I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah,
you could have professional ball players show up, professional golfers. You just don't know what's going to happen.
That's right.
But it is going to be a wonderful concert at a wonderful place, man. Hathaway Hall, you talk about nice sound in there, and it's a place you've been looking forward to playing all your life. So it looks like all your dreams are coming true.
It is, man. I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you coming on Riverbend Talent here and helping us out, man, and helping all the local musicians, because we promote all the local gigs around town each and every weekend. And that's thanks to our sponsors, Halpin Music Company, which I'm sure you're familiar with Halpin Music.
Absolutely. Yep.
And
I've been there many a day.
We got pig pens, so we need lots of insurance. And so we got Matt Van Voorhis from the Stubblefield Band. You probably heard of the Stubblefield Band around town. And Matt's with Macias Insurance. And then our other insurer is Michael Crider with Farmers Insurance. He plays in a band called Money Shot. They used to be called Dead Man's Bridge. And yeah.
Well, thanks to our sponsors for sponsoring the show. Thanks to Tommy Karlas for being our guest. And man, big props for at 19, just rolling down there and doing it, and not having the fear and not having letting the doubt creep into your mind, man, because that's one of the Nashville residents that I've been lucky enough to meet, Todd Snyder. He says that all the time. Look, don't be afraid, just do it. If you're going to be a songwriter, write songs. If you're going to be a singer, be a singer. But if you can be a bricklayer, go lay bricks. Whatever it is you're going to do it.
That's
man.
Right. Yeah.
And props to you for not having the fear and still being stuck in East Alton. Because it looks like you've done some great things down there, and a lot of big things on the horizon for Tommy Karlas.
Thanks so much, guys.
We got to know if you've ever met Todd Snyder. That's one of his favorites. You ever run into Todd down there?
I haven't, no.
Okay. Well, bring some shoes along. He might need them.
If you see him, he's probably going to be barefoot, but he is like you. He's wrote songs that people have been covering for years. Kenny Chesney covered one of his 20 years ago, and he's been doing it ever since. So
that's awesome.
Yep. A lot of great songwriters down there in Nash Vegas, as we call it.
That's right. Absolutely.
I appreciate it once again. TommyKarlasMusic.com. And Tommy, man, thanks for influencing all these young guys, man, to get out there and do what you're doing and keep playing music.
You got it. I appreciate you all having me, and I appreciate what you guys do too.
Okay, man.
Right. Yeah, big thanks to Tommy and everybody. Till we see you next week, remember to get out and support local music and art.